And we're live. All right. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay at home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers. Shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the crossing guards and the school teachers. Shout out to law enforcement personnel, medical field personnel, military personnel. Shout out to the heavy equipment operators. Shout out to construction workers. Shout out to the chefs in kitchens, secretaries in offices. Shout out to the servers and bus boys, dishwashers. Whatever it is you do for a living. Shout out to the barbers and the barbers in the barbershops. And shout out to the hairdressers. My office a shout out to the dressmaker them and tailor them and all them people there. If they still exist, shout out to them. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You're a good person. Don't let that go over your head. If you're a good person, you are a good person if you want good for others as much as you want good for yourself. Yeah, that way. And here we are on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Today is the 29th of July, 2025, and we are happy to be here. We are feeling healthy and strong, and all is well with the world. Nothing to complain about. Even when it's not perfect, life is still beautiful, right? All right, and so we give thanks, and then we continue with our day. I am in the office today, says Rosalind Smyko. The chat is closed this morning. All names in green. Shout out to my green name people. Big up to you. The chat really belongs to you. We just open it every now and then for everybody else to get a taste of what it's like to be in the chat. So enjoy your chat as I mumble on for like an hour. Today, like I explained on the video this morning, I have to go on a road trip today, which I got on short notice. I thought I had Wednesday planned for the road trip, taking my son back to college, and it turns out that he made a mistake and thought it was Wednesday when he has to be on campus today. So we have to pull out right after this live right here. So I'm gonna give you a 1 hour live, cut the live, jump on the road, go pick him up, jump on the road, and it's fun times, exciting times. I don't know, man. I wish this for every parent. The joy of watching your child grow, the joy of watching that baby go off to a college, a university, and they're on campus, and them kind of something that the excitement of all that. That's where I'm at right now. I'm experiencing that part of it right now. The hard work for all the years we've put in is paying off, and we're thankful for that too. I was telling my younger sons that this could have gone any other way. Let's not get it twisted because a lot of kids grow up in good homes and still choose bad company and choose to go the wrong way. I don't know. I have my foot on their neck though, as far as that's concerned. But it still could have went the wrong way. So I give a lot of thanks and praises for how everything is turning out so far. And I will joyfully be driving up the road today, taking my son back to go drop him off again, and give him a hug and thing. We're gonna have to move him today too. So we'll be on campus for a bit, helping him move from where he was at before into a new dorm and all these things. Exciting times for him, exciting times for us. And I got two more going off to college come next year as well. So look out for that too. That one is going to be super exciting because I have two athletes going off to college. This one is not an athlete, but the other two that's coming up, they are athletes and they are heavily scouted. So we're going to see where that I'm like living vicariously through them too, watching their dreams come through, supporting them, pushing them, and watching their dreams come true. So it's gonna be an exciting time to see next year when that one unfolds. Anyways, here we are. Just to keep you in the loop as family, I like to share some of my personal life all the time, just so we are in touch. So we feel like regular, real people to each other, right? So Flo have picked me like I raise mind them already. Him still a raise theme. Them kind of something there. So someone who have done this already can give me some advice and all these things. I'm not a know-it-all. I learn from you like how you learn from me. Wow. Mine choose a far away one. When me have to fly 5. Wait, Audrey says mine choose a far away one when me have to fly 5 hours. Figure all the time. My daughter said, Nika, the older daughter, she said she wants to go to college in New York. I said, hell no, and hell to the no. Yeah, I know, and I know somebody is gonna be like, no man, let her go where she wants to go. Nah, nah. I lived in New York. I know what New York is about. Nah. And a little country girl, because all of them are born and raised right here in quiet. Our part of Florida is so quiet. These kids, my kids don't know nothing but beach and they, they, listen, they don't even know how to cross the street. No, and I tell you, no lie. If you see my kids out in public trying to cross the street, they look like kids, like a fish out of water. Them don't know how to really navigate across a big intersection or anything. Nah. You stay in, and I told her too. I said, you better choose a Florida college or Florida university because your ass is not going to know New York. Why, Daddy? Why? New York? Mm-mm. Me tell my son them who are a little older. I said, listen, you live in New York. You live in a building that got 10 floors. Mr. Gal come out of 10th floor apartment and she suck hood before she reached the first floor to exit that the building. Of course, it depends on where you live, but New York is wild. Okay, I don't want my daughter in any of that. Not that she can't go off to college in Florida and be mixed up in the same kind of stuff, but I'll be right there. I could make surprise visits to the campus. I could be lurking around somewhere where I will keep her on her toes so she could be like, nah, my dad probably somewhere out here. You know, I got GPS tracker on, all that other stuff. Her mama got GPS tracker on all the kids. I'll be driving down the highway with them in the car. I hit 90 miles per hour. I get a message. Why are you driving so fast? I'm like, how she know I'm driving fast? Oh, the GPS tracker on the kids. Each kid got a GPS tracker on them. So no, we're not playing with that. You're not going to know in New York. Sit your behind down right here in Florida and get your degree here. Just choose one good school here. And she's super bright. She's in the gifted program. She got selected to gifted from 3rd grade. That's around where they select them, 3rd grade, you know. And then she's been in the gifted program ever since. Same thing they're suggesting for Makai, that Kai be put in the gifted program, but it's too early already. And they've suggested it for him already too. Kai's about to skip 1st grade and go to 2nd grade. So he's going from kindergarten to 2nd grade when school start back as well. So they're doing splendid, man. And I'm just enjoying the journey, you know. I love hearing your family stories. Big up yourself, says Karen Notice. I tried that and it didn't work, says Audrey. No, she's staying her behind here. I might loosen up for my boys to go a little further, but not the girls. Not the girls. You not getting that loosening up from me until you're probably like mid-20s, probably about 25. I told my daughter, I said, earn a bachelor's degree first, and then I'll loosen up a little bit. And I'm right here to support you as far as you want to go. You want to go master's, you want to go PhD, I'll be right here to support you through all of it, all the way up. But I'm not loosening up till you at least catch a bachelor's. All right? that way, me know say if you catch belly with the bachelor's, you can actually afford to take care of yourself. Yeah. I'm not, oh, I'm taking him to child support court. The boy breed me, you know. Nobody want to get pregnant. No, 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 no. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not at all. Not on my watch. Greg Goody said at SouFLo, I went to a university in Florida and it was an experience, boy. Kids that got the get out of jail free card was off the freaking hook. I went to school here. I went to FLOMO, Florida Memorial University first. Let me tell you about campus life. Let me tell you about an HBCU. Let me tell you about step shows and frat parties. And so I know firsthand. It was, I left there and went to the Army, came back out the Army, and then went to Kaiser University, right? But I had that experience too. So I know what going on campus. It's something about Florida and about the heat and about these overprivileged kids, because a lot of them are overprivileged. Even the poor kids here look overprivileged. Ain't gonna lie. Even the kids who are financially doing not good as those who come from money family, still overprivileged. I remember when Shakira first moved here and I drove her to the area where we live in. I drove her to an adjacent area and I said, this right here, this is the hood. This is the projects. And she was like, what? This is the what? She was coming from Philadelphia. She was like, this is the what? This is a nice neighborhood. I'm like, no, gunshot bust run us all the time. Cops chase people, high speed car chase. People got killed out here. Like multiple people been killed out here. This is the hood. That's the projects. And she's like, nah, those look like some nice apartments. You know, there were 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms for $350 a month. People still wasn't trying to move over there. You know, over the years that has changed though, because it's been 10 years since she moved here. But yeah, they are overprivileged, man. Everybody own a car. Everybody, and some of these kids own some nice cars. Everybody look flashy. Everybody is out to party. They just living their life though, you know. So I don't too get in their way about that. But me just want to protect minds, so minds don't get caught up in the fragrant foolishness. I grew up in Florida, so I grew up kind of with a whole lot of freedom too. And I was telling my kids that too. Like back in my time, remember, I know, did y'all grow up in this era where you could call your mama at work? Call your mother at work. They can't even do that no more. I called my mom at work. May I speak to? I said my mom's name, and they're like, hold on. And they'll put her on the phone. Dawn, your children are on the phone. I can hear them in the background. And mommy's like, all right, gonna reach home safe. Okay, lock the door and don't answer the door for anybody. All right, and take out this and that for cook for dinner. I'm soon reach home, blah, blah, blah. We were latchkey kids. We had our own keys. Walk home from school. Lock up yourself in the house till mommy come home. Lock up in the house. I had a little BMX bicycle. Jump on my bicycle. I'm way over in some other part of Miami, which part far from my yard. You have to bust yourself like this to get back home before your mom come home. My kids are where I can find them 24/7, 365. They're not going nowhere. So they not clearing no go way across town. Them not the half of what we used to do. We never have cell phone back then. So she couldn't call me and talk about, I was calling your phone. You're not answering it. The next time I ring your Ross phone and you don't answer it to see, I didn't have one. We had beeper, and beeper was for drug dealers and big people, doctor and them people there. We didn't carry no beepers picnic. Well, we're gone. And they didn't really care either. You know, we were out there at the mercy of God. All kind of places, going through all kinds of different neighborhoods. Them kind of sitting there. Yeah, I'm glad for, well, I could say I'm glad, but nah. Today, things have changed too much. We had stuff going on back then. We always had perverted people and pedos and predators and all kind of something out there, but not like today. Evil has multiplied 100 times since them time there. So we have to like be extra careful when it comes to these children, right? Way over yonder, Audrey. Sometimes we wonder how we are reach back. You're tired, you know. So we up on the bicycle, and me, I'm a little friend of mine. We're like in our bicycle crew. You better hurry your ass back. Your mama gonna kill you. Hurry, wait till me now. Your chain pop off of your bicycle and you can't put it on back, and everybody I try to reach home. Cause for them mother, I go kill them too. I pop your chain, pop. You're like, you have to run with your bike. Everybody right gone left you. Yeah, good old days. I stayed in an Airbnb in Duval, Florida, and thought I was a quiet neighborhood. After researching the neighborhood, I realized that it was time to cut my vacation short. Lovely Aneka. Lovely Aneka is in the building. My fellow content creator sister. You see her right there. Her name looks a bit different from everybody else's name in here. By now, all of you whose name's in green, you should be subscribed to Lovely Aneka's channel, right? Cause be a good, clean-hearted people in a green over here. Anyways, you did too damn bad. Yeah, me did. I was a troubled child. I never give. I don't know. I never commit crimes, so to speak. But I was mischievous, and I was very sneaky. Yeah, I can admit that now. I always the inner something. Sometimes something when we get out, I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, boy, God, thank you. Please, thank you, thank you. Never see me way out of that. That's why I'm an advocate for children to make mistakes too, you know, and not be persecuted and prosecuted in a way where it damages them for the rest of their lives. We all the way. If we look back at our teenage years to young adulthood, some of we have to really, really laugh at ourselves. Like, why am I glad me reach this spot, me reach? Cause, you know what I'm saying? So children make mistakes, man, and I still look at everybody as a child, all the way up to 8. If teen is in your age, you're a child to me, and you should be allowed to make your mistakes without being crucified for making those mistakes. You know what I mean? Kaz Robinson says, I'm a subscribe to her channel, but I don't get any notification. They doing her like how they do me. It's black content creator thing. Can't really say too much about it, but y'all figure it out. Y'all figure it out. In Jacksonville, LOL, that's the hood. Onika. Yeah, Florida be having them nice hoods. They be having them nice places where you think it's peace and safety. It look nice, palm trees swaying in the wind. The beach might even be close by, and the beaches are pretty, especially in this part of Florida. Yeah, until you hear that first AK-47 bust. And it sounds very different from any other gun. It really make a pesheng wang 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 sound there that you did say it make. Then you're like, oh, I'm driving back from Georgia. I hit Florida. This one I used to go pick up my kids from Fort Benning because their mom used to still work with the army and live on Fort Benning on the army base. I used to go pick them up on a regular basis. One of the trips, I had them. They spent summer. Take them back, drop them off to their mom. They got to go to school, and I'm driving back. We hit Florida. Jacksonville. We hit Florida. I'm tired. Me, Shakira, and the two babies. We stop in a I don't even think Milani was born yet. I think it was Kai. Kai was a baby in a seat. We stop in a hotel. Within about 5, first of all, when we checked into the hotel, they gave us a key. Pay for my room. I always do this. I say, wifey, stay with the kids in the vehicle, downstairs, park, lit area. Let me go upstairs and recon the room first. I'm gonna open the door, make sure the door work, make sure nobody not in there, is safe and it's clean, and then I'll come back and get everybody up. This is standard procedure. Me push the key in our door. I open the door. I just paid for this room. Open the door. I see 2 men spread out in the room on 2 different beds. And they looking at me like, yo. One of them like he about to pull a gun. The other one is like, yo, what you do? So me draw back the door like this. I'm like, I'm sorry. this was I forgot what the name of the hotel was, but it's a popular brand. I'll tell you in a minute. So me draw back the door. I'm like, I'm sorry. And we go back downstairs. I said, hey, how did the key work for that door? Because there are 2 people in there already. Are you serious? There are 2 people in there? Oh my God, it shouldn't have worked. Then give me one next key. Same thing again. Me tell wife and me go upstairs and look, because no, me really have to go up by myself. I went up there, I looked, nobody in this room. Went back down, got my family, went upstairs where I could get some sleep. Within 5 minutes of being in that room, outside of our room, I heard, fuck you, motherfucker, and fuck you too, nigga. Fuck you, bashling, bang, bang, bang. 2 men start fling bottles and fight. Glass are broke everywhere. Right outside of our room door. That ain't the bad part. Next thing we hear, bow, bow. And we ducking. And I hear, you shot him. Why you shoot him for? Why'd you shoot him? This all right outside our window, you know. One of them bullets could have easily went through our window because they were right outside our window. Real life story. So the whole I would duck and lay down in there. And me crawl up now and I look through the window. I see this man bleed profusely. Blood is just shooting everywhere. and him run downstairs. He's running down the stairs, and the guy that shot him is running behind him down the stairs. A girl is running in the opposite direction. You didn't have to shoot him. You shot him. I'm calling the police. I'm telling. The police came quick as hell. Ain't gonna lie. By the time he got downstairs, I would say they must have been like around the corner or close by or something, because they came in like 2 minutes. And then all of a sudden they went from one police to just the whole place curl off with police, multiple police cars and lights. We couldn't even sleep. I'm in there trembling the whole time. I'm like, listen, I don't think I want to stay right here, because, you know. So we ended up bedding down for a couple of hours, jumped up. I'm like, yo, we gotta go. Jump back on the road and just drive all the way home. Mister, me will sleep when we reach my yard. So Florida be like that. There'll be some places that look really nice, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna stay over here tonight. And then it jumps off in the middle of the night when you when you least expect it. You know? Mad City. Yeah, right. RR123. King Big Elf. Missy Bram says, me get notification for you this morning, little bro. Hear me. Go with Flo. Have him own way of notifying us. Watch from when notification KMT. Yeah, so our notification, thanks, and that is who suggested it to me. Lovely Aneka. Lovely Aneka is right here. She suggested that. She said, SouFlo, just use your shorts and go early in the morning, do a short, and let them know, you know, what time you're going to come live in the morning, and then tell everybody to check that instead of waiting on YouTube to notify them. It's been working. More people will catch on as it goes. So I appreciate that from her as well. Audrey said, me just start the channel till you come till you come on. Big up yourself, Audrey. Listen, we have 1 hour now, and we're already like almost 30 minutes in. I think I'm gonna go like an hour and 15 minutes over. I have 2 boys who start football practice at 6 a.m. So they're at practice right now. And once their practice is done at 8 a.m., then it should take them a little while to drive back to the house. And then me, I got done this and go grab them, and we jumping on the road. So what I really want to talk about this morning, right, is politics time in Jamaica again. The elections are about to be called, which means in a few months we will look back and say, okay, we still have Andrew Holness as our prime minister, or we have a new prime minister, and his name is Mark Golding. PNP is now the party in power, as opposed to JLP, or JLP gets a 3rd term. Either way it go, let me state my disclaimer that whoever wins is not going to stop me from going to Jamaica. It's not going to stop me from bigging up Jamaica. It's not going to stop me from investing in Jamaica. I don't know, foreign stay already. When them fling we out of this without nowhere else to go, and the only place them can't fling we out of is yard. So that's how we are in our real life. And this administration is making it known more than ever before. So I'm good with me yard, no matter who win. However, for those who want to see changes and they are not pleased with who is in power now and how things are going now, I saw a couple of things that I thought I needed to point out. So the headline this morning says how JLP will win the next election, the next general election, if the PNP is not careful. Andrew Holness will be Prime Minister of Jamaica again. Hear me out. The phone lines are open. Feel free to call in if you have something to say. Let me plug up the phone. I actually didn't plug it in. But I'm going to tell you how they're going to win. Okay? It's a strategy that they're using, and the strategy is super effective. All right. So, it's 2 things. Andrew Holness has pulled out all the stops. He's given away all kinds of things. Houses, roads fixed, discount on this, free up the toll them for this much months, all kind of something he's done. One thing about Jamaicans in Jamaica is you could be the devil from hell. You could literally be here with your pitchfork and 2 big horn, and they will be like, yeah man, but him give you free things. So they kind of love free things. Not kind of, them love free things, and it catches them all the time. I think the Prime Minister knows that too. And I've said this before, for me, this is a form of vote buying because they saved up all the resources until they knew it was an election year. Then them start Lego all the resources. Because if I gave it to you 3 years ago, these people have short attention span, poor memory. They'll, I don't remember what him do for me, you know. I don't remember what him do for me because I suffer for the last couple of years. But I gave you stuff 4 years ago, though. So what they did strategically was hold on to all the resources. And last minute, right before election, give away a whole bunch of sitting. Right? We can't deny that we don't see that happening. It is happening. I'm not making anything up. It is happening. Vote buying is what I call that. But that's vote buying on another level. This isn't the go around another community there and send 2 men in there and tell them so to make sure so the people, them, everybody in the vote for JLP or PNP and, you know, whole 2 party around the kill 2 goat and a curry goat and white rice and manish water and them kind of something there. This is a different level of that, right? The other thing, though, that is super effective, and I give it to Andrew Holness. You've always heard me say this. He is indeed a brilliant politician. I not say him is a good person. I don't know him like that. I don't like some of his policies and how they affect Jamaica. But he's a brilliant politician. You see, he united the churches. And whoever gets the churches wins the election. Here is why. All it takes is for pastor. So that is strategic movement. All it takes now is for the pastor of each church to gather up his congregation. So this Friday, we're going to the polls. This Friday, we're going to the polls. Make sure you're there, no Sister Nancy. Make sure you're there, no Miss Gracie. Brother Roy, don't miss Friday. Whatever you're doing, put it off. This Friday, we gather here. We are going to the polls. We are marching to the polls. And they are connected to God and godliness and these kind of things. And they will move and mobilize that whole church to go to them polls and go vote. On the other side, you have a whole lot of PNP supporters who are all over social media saying stuff. We're going to vote his ass out. Make him keep talking, man. Time come. Time come. Call the election and sin, Andrew. Call it and sin. But what I've noticed is majority of those who are on social media talking, Jamaica, on the listen. Majority of you who are on social media talking, you're actually not getting up and going to the polls to vote when the voting day comes. You're not. So the people them who are in the church, they are going to go vote. And Andrew already captured the church, right? I was just looking up his church meetings, and based on provided information here, the Jamaica Prime Minister Andrew Holness has participated in several events with religious aspects since 2025 alone. It is important to catch the church. Jamaica is in the Guinness Book of World Record as the country that has the most churches per square mile. Yeah, even when we are murder each other like crazy, and that we always say it now, jacket and dash out like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody a thief, a fuck, and them kind of something there. We still as godly as ever because we have whole heap of church. So it's important to capture the churches. January 30th, he attended the Jamaica Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. He himself says he's a Seventh-day Adventist and how he grew up and all these things. Religious Liberty Summit, calling on faith-based groups to step up their role in advancing behavioral changes within communities and highlighting the importance of the church in upholding our nation's values. That was his theme. And this is a huge event. That was January 30th. July 27th is another major one. I'm just giving you the major ones. He was the person who actually delivered the first scripture lesson at the National Emancipation and Independence Church service. Reading from Psalms 38, verse 8 through 12, he emphasized that a nation is blessed when it acknowledges God as its foundation. This service, remember, I know you don't have to be godly, you know. Integrity Commission still can't suss out your paperwork them for your riches, and they are suspicious and under pressure at the same time because you are beating the Integrity Commission for doing their work. And the Integrity Commission says they cannot ascertain if the Prime Minister was involved in illicit richness or not. And they require uh, another entity to do deeper investigation to figure out which part the money come from, how so much money are flow through so many accounts, and blah blah blah. And you stick your lie upon the people them. But this nation must be a nation under God. Anyway, he knows when to show up and how to show up. So he emphasized at this one that a nation is blessed when it acknowledges God as its foundation. And this service also featured the leader of the opposition party, which did deliver the second scripture lesson at that party, highlighting a shared commitment to national values. So you have like the PNP did not try keep up, but Andrew do way more church events than them. So them couldn't really keep up with him. You know what I mean? Then he participated in the Portland Eastern and Western Gospel Concert. If you know Portland, you will know that that is Vaz territory, and you will know that that's where Isaac Buchanan's battlefield is. Well, tie this in, giving away of a lot of things again, because in comes a star like Isaac Buchanan, one who has challenged the status quo and won. And they said, him a go win it, you know. Him a go win Portland. For one, him look like the majority of the people that live here. For two, them definitely know say he is a son, seed of the soil, and he is for the regular people them. See? So here what we have to do now. Darrell Vaz, I think, is Minister of Transportation. His wife, Anne, is the opponent of, when you see how mathematics are played, is the opponent of Isaac Buchanan. Roll out the rural school bus program. Ship in some bus from America. Yeah. Now we have a rural school bus program with buses land on the ground. The people them not gonna forget that. The big yellow bus them. I saw them campaigning. I think it's Andre Stevens posted the video. I saw them parading in the school bus them. You know, them pack up the bus and go up on the road. We could do them political thing, them pack up the school bus them with people, foot a hang out a window and everything. You know? But that is something hard to beat. Because the people them are gonna be like, look how long we there look for a school bus system. When me really clear know that would be same thing when it's good. But see now them have it is better late than never. Is who do it? The Vaz them and them me I vote for. Green again. Right? They know when to time this. Could have done that a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Them had to do it now. Here we go. February 11th. So July, again, he participated in the Portland Eastern and Western Gospel Concert. It was a huge event. Many things were said. February 11th, yeah. Great Goody says, Isaac put out his manifesto and the JLP stole his ideas. The JLP stole his ideas. Oh, man. February 11th, again, you had the Office of the Prime Minister of Jamaica reaffirm the government's commitment to religious freedom and diversity, stating Andrew Holness emphasized the importance of dialogue and the collaboration between all the faith leaders, business executives, educators, and policymakers to uphold the rights of all Jamaicans. Now, there are many more that he has been to. Those are the 3, 4 top ones, which will have a great impact on the outcome of this election. Here is one religious leader. He said, choose the lesser evil. In Jamaica, Peter Espute offers advice to Christian voters. I don't like the idea of church and state mixing. It's not supposed to be, but in Jamaica it very much is. Theologian Peter Espute says Christians in Jamaica will have to decide which of the island's two major political parties will be the least of the two evils when deciding how to vote in the upcoming general election. Espute, the Dean of Studies at St. Michael's Theological College, made the comment during a virtual forum that was staged by the Association of Christian Communicators and Media on Sunday evening. He said, I think that we're faced with this in every election. This one and every other one is that we have to decide whether there is anyone we can actually vote for. And if we can vote for anybody because they are wanting to help build the kingdom of God, if they want to establish right relationships, but if there is nobody we can vote for because both of them are equally evil, then we have to decide if there's anybody that we should be required to vote against. Espute said, which was examining the topic called the power of the Christian vote. Jamaica. Kandro no stupid enough. You know me, I call the man Kandro. Andrew. I never call you Kandro, sir. Andrew, them I call you Kandro over here, so, but I can't see where they get the name from. Anyhow, is there anybody that is more evil than the other one? He said. Is there anybody that to vote for them would take us further away from the kingdom of glory than voting for the other one? Added Espute, who was a panelist in the discussion. In my view, voting is not a simple matter either, because both sides are evil and both sides have done good things as well. But in every case, you have a judge on its merits and in the context, and I think this is the particular case. Christians have to decide which of these two evil parties, that have garrisons and gunmen and thugs and so on and so on, and tell lies and them cuss bad word and so on, which one of these two evil parties is the least of the two evil. And I think in the end, that is how the Christians are going to have to vote in this election. Remember, you know, the church coming like it there for confusion, you know, because nobody is telling them to look at policies and terms and, you know, laws put into place that might benefit them for the long run or hurt them for the long run, etc. It might talk about who cuss bad word and who is going to move us further from the kingdom of God and all these things. According to Espute, one major decider should be for the Christians in Jamaica to examine whether the two parties offering themselves, whether any of them will try to restrict religious freedom, particularly as it relates to worshiping in schools. Let me stop right there so real quick and say something. When we saw an LGBT flag that was flying in Jamaica high over the embassy, a lot of Jamaicans took offense to that because they were like, this is not of our nation. However, the argument was that that's on the U.S. embassy, and wherever the U.S. embassy is situated, it's considered U.S. territory. So that was them. You know, Jamaica. So I can't, your territory. Take long or something there. Anyhow, we found out after that somebody was being paid a whole lot of money to push the LGBTQ agenda in Jamaica. What me did want to know is who collect that money? That's what I wanted to know. Who collected that money? Because it was verified in Congress in the United States of America that that money was paid to the ruling party, somebody in there to push the LGBTQ agenda in Jamaica. Me want to know who did collect the money and how that money was used and what did all that entail. But back to this here now. So he said that when it comes time to vote, one thing the Christian voters must lean towards is the person who is not trying to restrict worship, especially in school. We know that there are two types of schools in Jamaica, he said. Schools that are owned by the churches and schools that are owned by the government. Me no know that, but now it makes sense. Have me look around. Yeah, it makes sense. And the government came out recently with guidelines for prayers in schools to restrict the length of time for prayers in our schools in Jamaica. And they also had restrictions on the days of the weeks that the prayer could be done in the schools. And those of us in the church, we took that as a threat to our religious freedom, Espute said. I didn't know that they did that. Again, he said that recently the government came out with guidelines for prayers in schools to restrict the length of time prayer and devotion could happen in the schools in Jamaica and the particular days of the weeks in which they would be allowed to do so. And those of us who are of the church, we took offense to this. We took that as a threat to our religious freedom. Now, really and truly, we have to question the politicians them whether they intend to restrict religious freedom in our schools. Last week, the chair of Education Transformation Committee said that the government wants more control over the schools and that they want to revise the school board system to give the ministry more power over Jamaica. Christians who are going to vote cannot vote for anybody that is going to restrict the rights of the churches over their own schools. In other words, the schools that are church-based, church-owned, want to keep it that way because prayers and everything come with them, the school them. Let the church, let the government have their way with their public schools, but allow the church to run their schools in a churchical manner, not government taking over church schools and regulating how long them can pray for, which day them can have prayers, etc., etc. So he said, really, now last week, blah, blah, blah. Christians who are going to vote cannot vote for anybody that is going to restrict the rights of churches over their own schools, said Epsute. People have to decide which of these two evil parties will be the least of the two evils. And I think in the end, that is how the Christians in Jamaica will vote, Epsute said in a parting shot. Baron Buckley, second vice president of the ACCM, said that Christians, given the sheer power of their numbers, have to come to a consensus on what they will do with their votes. And the Christian vote, them a fight for in Jamaica right now, you know. Jamaica is a very churchical country. Contending that the church is a sleeping giant, he said. It is like we flex our muscles and we lose the bands of political affiliation. In the meantime, Pollster Don Anderson, in nothing that there isn't a lot of empirical data tracking the voting patterns of Christians, said that Christians have been proven to vote based on issues such as the retention of the Buggery law. Like the Christian them in Jamaica for past elections, them a keep the Buggery law or them a take it off of the books. You see anybody who's to repeal the Buggery law, them vote against them. Keep it on the books because we don't want no Batman thing around here. But guess what? a little education, they would have changed their minds. Nobody is taking the time to educate them about these buggery laws. Them just thinks that the buggery laws means if you catch two battyman battying, then they must go to jail or prison. And that's not what the buggery laws entail. Matter of fact, the buggery laws is a hindrance. The buggery laws is a hindrance. It is the exact same laws that allow for when a boy is sexually assaulted by a man, a battyman, the boy, the man is not charged with rape like how if he assaulted a girl. It is the buggery laws that does that. So if those buggery laws are off the books, then the child would be able to press charges and that perpetrator would be charged with rape, just like if it was a female that he did that too. But I don't know, they don't teach the people them in Jamaica these things. The people them go around thinking buggery law mean just Batman law, so keep it on the books. If you take it off, Batman are going to flood the place. Now, this topic is a challenging one, but only because there is not a lot of empirical data. The reality is that, to the best of my knowledge, there is no really significant data that is available on the participation of Christians in these elections. The last established piece of information we have, the pollster said, from Statin or Statistical Institute of Jamaica was from 2011. And is that 69% of our voting population are Christians. So, whilst I wouldn't expect there to be a significant degree of change in that data between 2011 and 2025, we have to recognize that we are looking at some rough numbers here. If 69% of the voting population considers themselves to be Christians, living in the word Christians, the rest of them, yeah, me a Christian, but you know, me not to go church and them thing there, me not really live it, the Bible like that. So me I say, but me grew up Christian and them christen me when me did little and them kind of something there. That's a huge number, 69%. If you teeter 1% the other way, 70%, which only leaves 30%. If I beat you by that much of a margin, I'm the winner. So you can clearly see, although it's rough numbers, that that group is a powerful group. Here we go with the 69 again, Audrey. That's the problem. All in that church, we're gone with it. Yo, hey. So, basically, according to Anderson, it's important that data is collected to help assess the participation of these Christian organizations. And he said that in the meantime, however, there's nothing to suggest that the other 30-something% of voters turnout in the last election were not significantly made up of Christians. When you have a piece of data where 80% of the people were a certain way and you have 70% of the people being Christians in that population, I would expect a significant percentage of them to be Christians again, who are against the appeal of the buggery law. I would expect Christians to be heavily represented in that also 38% that voted otherwise also. And we would have to find a reason to explain why the Christian vote would be significantly less or more in the next 38% who voted. Either way, we're not going to crunch them numbers for them. Just know, say, these are the two strategies that are being used. One is that you must win the church. I don't know if the PNP, People's National Party, is listening. Any member is listening. Y'all have to win the church. You know, have to go to some couple church events quickly to reach the people them in the church. Because Andrew shamelessly is doing that. They are definitely appealing to the church. The thing is, even though his administration issued that guideline, they call it, to how many days a week prayers should be allowed in schools and how long the prayers should go for in schools, I've known Jamaicans to be the kind of people who still vote against their best interest anyways. I mean, if prayer in school is your thing, then by all means. Honestly speaking, I am not a religious person, me myself personally, SouFlo. I'm not doing the religion thing, right? But I do recognize the power of prayer. And I remember when devotion was a thing in school. Morning devotion. When I remember morning devotion in a school, now I'm in a business if you turned out to be an atheist today or if you turned out to be Muslim, Hindu, Krishna, wherever you are today, do you remember morning devotion in school? Morning devotion in school used to long the rotting. But morning devotion in school was a requirement. It was a requirement. And if you think about how it set the pace for the rest of your day, there's no way you know who has been somebody who came up under that to look back and say, take that out of the school, them man. Take that out of the school, them. Pick me wake up from them yard disturbed this morning, spiritually disturbed this morning, mentally not there, not prepared to learn anything teacher got teach in a classroom today. Them have problems at them yard. Them have them own little problems that go on in them life. Them not have no moment for hold a reverence. For stop for a second. Children go through a lot. The world is on their shoulders. They haven't quite developed how to deal with the wherewithal of how to deal with the pressures of growing up and the demands of mommy and daddy and the law and this and that and school and juggling all these things. Morning devotion was about setting the day. Setting the day. So all your problems come right to morning devotion. Listen, give all your problems to God. Clear your mind. Know that you are worthy. Come in out of school, come learn something that's going to take you somewhere in life. Because education is always a key. Education is always a doorstep. Education is a doorway. Education is always a level up. Come in a school, come learn something, right? Keep a calm spirit. Keep a praying spirit. Give them something for believing other than them problems for them have a go on. So the school them will cut that out. That's why you have like people come to school and them just fight teacher early in the morning. Bop, 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 bop. Teacher fair fling back thump early in the morning. Did your school have devotion this morning? No. Right. We never have no devotion this morning. When I take prayer out of the school. Me not say figure be churchical and all them something there, you know. But I recognize the balance that is needed. And I recognize the power of that. So take church out of school, take praying. If you take prayers out of school, man, just know, say, be afraid we're about to go another school. Be afraid we're about to go another school. You're already raising the children Christians. This is how they should start their day off. Exactly how them should have start them day off. Knowing that there is a God. Paying reverence, paying homage, paying respect to the Almighty Creator. Starting the day with thanks and praises, no matter what going on in your life, you have breath today, and you are blessed today with another day, another chance, another opportunity to make something of yourself. It's one day at a time. Them kind of something there. They come here like when you go and dance, right? If you're walking at the dance and the first thing you hear when you're walking at the dance is, how wedi. And then you hear a beer daggering and skin out our hole and dig her out and took her in our belly and put in our mouth and then the last thing you hear when you are left a party there is the big gun slap boy in the face, marrow fly upon wall. And two things you are left a party there with, you know. You want to fuck and fight. Pardon my language. I had to say it that way for emphasis. Two things you leave in that party with. You want to fuck and you want to fight. You're revved up off of, you feel like you're gun upon you all when you don't have no gun upon you. You look for some frivolous sex cause all you are here for the last couple of is skin her out and dig out the hole and Remember how dance used to be? Remember how dance used to be? Dance start off with early juggling. Early juggling had the Lucianas, you know, Sweep Over My Soul, had the Dennis Browns, had the Cocotees, you know what I mean? Them kind of thing they are going in an early juggling, them a set the dance. There was a certain reverence in that even dancing and partying. The mad segment are come up, you know. The girl segment and the skin out part and the bad man tune them are come up, you know. They're coming. But we will get into that along the way. We have to start the dance knowing say we are gathered here and we are gonna have a good time. We don't want a gunman in here, we don't want a crime and violence in here. It's just gathering and enjoying life to celebrate a moment in life, the present, this gift we call the present. And then we are gonna do it with music and we are gonna move on to the next tune them. And then when we play the next tune them now, that's for everybody else to know, feed them alter ego and whatever else. You know, remember how dance used to end after that? Them slow the dance back down again. And any man in here who never find a girl yet, you better go look for one now. Because we have about 20 more minutes in here. Bar shut down or you go buy out the bar. If you never find a girl, you go find one now. And then them start play Lovers Rock. Right? And you feel like say you need to find a wife tonight. Either that or you can find a tonight for tonight. I don't know which way you want to do it. But a whole heap of couples met that way. And a whole heap of we are products of that time. Because so we mother and we father them did they scrub off the bamboo wall. You know, she end up on him slow and him and back on her slow and them. You remember how them used to hold each other and just and go in it. So people not even dance like that again. People not dance like that again. People dance by themselves when them hear big tune play where like love songs and stuff. And them, well, yeah. Nobody now hold nobody again. You see, when you used to go dance back then, almost everybody in there holds somebody. So we never used to leave the dance feeling like we want bus shot. We never used to leave the dance feeling like we are looking for somebody to fight. It's the same thing when it comes to schools. Take out God out of the school, take out prayers out of the school doomed. That is up to them. But I see it. All right. Julie Tapper says devotion should be every day, every morning, and the end of the school day so everyone get home safe. I absolutely agree. We used to end school like that too. Used to end school with a prayer before you go up on the road. That's why I used to go to Knox. We used to end with a prayer. Devotion for us at Knox was big. Anybody who went to Knox can tell you this. Sometimes devotion are out the door in the sun and the sun just peel off your head front. So. But you had to be at devotion. Them used to beat if you come school later. But you had to be at devotion though. Right? Yeah, Audrey, some Lord give me strength to face another day, to carry along life's road, carry my heavy load. Give me strength, oh Jack, to carry on. Oh, my soul. I don't know. Also, when next one name? There's so many songs that are just uplifting songs for your spirit. Feed your spirit. Empower you spiritually. You know have to be tambourine shaking on Jesus, 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 hallelujah, Jesus. You don't have to be that. It can be these positive songs which were used. And before you know it, he laid with her and she was with child. Audrey not easy. Audrey not easy enough. Yeah, Audrey, you know me I say all them songs they are playing at the end. What one dance can do? Oh boy. I'll be not Dennis Brown, but I don't know who me attack already. What one dance can do? What one dance can do? That man is responsible for a lot of children. Okay? He's responsible for a lot of children. Father Barris is who I'm talking about. The legendary Barris Hammond. He's responsible for a lot of friggin' children. But they used to play even American soul music, where they used to call souls in a dance. and stuff like that. Back then, R. Kelly music I play. Then also R. Kelly would have been prison for all them years, you know. But R. Kelly music would have played all kind of sitting. But it was about love and loving. Audrey said, yeah, and they were like this. And then he laid with her, and 9 months later, she was with child. Yeah, them thing there. But here what? We're not going to stay on this long this morning because we have to get on the road, but I'm going to reiterate this before I leave. So, there was a strategy that was used in the last election in Jamaica. And you know how Jamaica does not have a time when the election is called. I don't know if you all know this. I keep saying this. Not like in the US, you know when election is because it's the same time every 4-year period. Not Jamaica. Whoever is in power has the power. And them can call it early or they can call it late. And the thing is, they always try to call it in a way where it throws the other party off guard, like they're not prepared. So they haven't been campaigning. In order to win an election, you have to campaign. You have to can tell your party your people who support you, hey, get to the polls. We have to vote. So the next party just get up one day and say, election is today. And all our people come out and vote. And you over there, you're like, damn, them have election. Hello, when you come, hurry up, come out and vote. Them call it. It's kind of chaotic. One of the tricks that Prime Minister Andrew Holness used for the last election, he called that election during the pandemic. I want you to go back to then. You're walking around, you're hearing, you must keep a mask on. You must be 6 feet apart from each other. Remember, you must be 6 feet apart from each other. No gatherings in any crowd. Remember, the people them around a zinc fence lane, them used to run there, throw a balloon and have party in a middle idea, and you see police jeep them, come soldier jeep them, and the people them are run and hide and all kind of something. Yeah. In the middle of that, we wake up one day to see a sea of green out in the streets, and Andrew Holness hanging out the top of a vehicle. I may say, what is? I thought people couldn't gather, and them say election call. I was like, what? I said election, him calling, him call the election. I said, what? He called the election. They were like, yeah, him call the election. People them out and vote. I win. JLP I go win now, you know. I thought it was a joke. I was looking at the crowd. Nobody in the crowd never have on no mask. Well, 1 and 2 of them did. Let me not make up no lie. 1 and 2 of them had on mask. Majority of them had no mask on. There was no security forces there enforcing no 6 feet apart distance or where is your mask. Remember, I know this is a time when the Jamaican police was given the authority to kick your foot out a road. Police could have pull up beside you in a jeep and say, hey, where your mask there? Put it on. Or draw you away for not having your mask on, arrest you. And yet, here was a sea of green. No mask, majority of the people voting. So that's how he won that election the last time. There's always tricks. And I'm trying to let the people recognize what the tricks are for this one. We're not on a pandemic this time. So this time, the tricks are holding all the resources to last minute, then showering the people with all these resources. You know, see, every day you wake up and look, Andrew is giving away something else. JLP party is giving away more stuff. And they are planning for more stuff to be built. And this project and that project and this road are fixed and this people get indigent housing. This family who never had a house before or have one little board house now get one brick house or one block and steel house. This year over here. So they're giving away. That's one tactic. And the other one is definitely the rallying up of the churches. And those leaders of those churches, them kind of worship the prime minister. And them not look upon the prime minister as an elected official who, me, will never worship no elected official because of the people power put you there. And the people power can remove you from there. So you work for the people. Therefore, I can't see you as no God. But in Jamaica, they see him as God. So if him pass by and give them church a little blessing and thing, a little donation, a little contribution, or even just his presence, it make them brand bigger. You know, say Andrew want to show up at that church there. Yeah, man. Them kind of prime minister in that church, they worship the G. Right. So the whole church now will rally. Those leaders of those churches will rally up that whole church and take them to the polls to vote on behalf of him. That's the strategy. So if you don't want that to happen, now that you know what it's going to be, counter that. If you don't counter that, then at the end of this, the Prime Minister of Jamaica will still be Andrew Holness. And I will close this message by saying this one more time. No matter who wins, I'm still a Jamaican. I will still be in Jamaica. I will still be investing and invested in Jamaica, and nothing will change that. All right. With that said, manners and respect to each and every one of you. We had to make it an early one this morning. It's 8:12. We started a couple of minutes late. I'm giving you back those couple of minutes, and we are going to call it short right there. So I'll see y'all later, and we'll make this up on another day. I didn't even realize the live yesterday was 5 hours and change long. We're working on something. All right. Blessings. Walk good. Like my granny, Miss Ruby, said, be good. If you can't be good, be careful, but it's best to be good. And my grandfather, Mas Cleaver, right there, so him say, I will see you tomorrow if God spare my life. I'm out. Peace.